Well, the Boston Celtics season is officially over. The New York Knicks win the series 4-2, winning Game 6 119 to 81. Today was ugly, man. Just a complete blowout. The Boston Celtics didn't, show up outside of Jaylen Brown, who Jaylen Brown fouled out in the third quarter, still had 20 points. But overall, just couldn't get it going. You really saw, this offense really struggle without Tatum. I'm just going to briefly go over today's game because I want to just sort of talk. This is a Boston Celtics video, honestly. I will talk about the Knicks sort of towards the end. But I'll go over this game briefly. 119-81, like I said. Jaylen Brown, like I said, the only one to show up. Everyone else pretty much struggled. 12 for 41 from 3, 29%. Just absolutely awful. Then Mikal Bridges got it going early for the New York Knicks. I think he started off with the first 7 points, and then he ended the game with 22 points, something like that. And then Karl-Anthony Towns also got it going early, had a hell of a game. I mean, Karl-Anthony Towns, man, when he's attacking the paint, his 3-point shot didn't really fall in this series, but I'm pretty confident that it will in the next round versus the Indiana Pacers. But man, Karl-Anthony Towns is extremely skilled, having probably the best season of his career this year with the New York Knicks. I think he's an All-NBA second-team performer. Man, he's been that good. I don't think correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think Karl-Anthony Towns has ever made All-NBA second team. I believe it's only been third team. I could be wrong about that, though. Someone let me know down below. But man, shout out to the New York Knicks, man. They really, really did earn it. But I want to talk about the Boston Celtics. My Boston Celtics. You guys can see I'm in the Jaylen Brown City Edition jersey that I bought a couple months ago. First time wearing it, actually. But I had to wear a Jaylen Brown jersey, man, because he's really the only one that showed up. And man, it's been... I mean, as far as this season goes, I would say it's a bit of a disappointment. I thought we had a legitimate shot to go back-to-back. I really, really did. I thought we could be the first team since, I don't know, I believe the Warriors were the last team to repeat when they had Kevin Durant. I thought we could be, the team that sort of broke that, what is it, like a 7-8 year cycle of not having any back-to-back champions. But man, it didn't happen, man. We didn't have luck on our side. You could make the argument, even if Tatum never got injured, the Celtics still would have got eliminated by the New York Knicks. They were up 3-1. And man, just looking back at it, man, those Game 1 and Game 2 games, man, they really, really did screw over the Celtics. Choking those 2 20-point leads, man. It's just... this series, I was not expecting. I'll be honest, I had the Celtics in 5 or 6. Going into the series, just because the Celtics completely dominated the New York Knicks in the regular season. It just goes to show that the regular season is completely irrelevant in the NBA. You never know what's going to happen, in a full series. So, but man, I do want to talk about a little bit about next season. The championship team, man, it's going to split up. Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, I expect to be out the door. Just because, we got new ownership. I don't know if they're going to, I don't think they're going to pay that second apron tax, especially if they don't feel like we can compete. And I'll be honest, I don't think the Celtics can compete for a title without Jason Tatum. He's the best player on the team. I view Jaylen Brown as more of a number 2 option. I don't think he's, a number 1 as far as, he's not the playmaker Jason Tatum is. He's not the 3-point shooter Jason Tatum is. It's going to be tough, but I love Jaylen Brown. I think he's probably the best Robin in the NBA, in my opinion. That could be a little bit biased, but I think the world of Jaylen Brown, man. But man, especially, I expect Jrue Holiday, like I said, Jrue Holiday and Kristaps Porzingis to be traded. So you got to think about that as well. And the way Kristaps Porzingis played in this series, his value is completely shot. So I don't even know what the Celtics get in return for him. I think the Celtics do get a decent return for Jrue Holiday. He's still a solid defender, cannot be your knockdown 3-point shooter off the catch and shoot, and he's still, he's a winner, man. He's a 2-time champion, all NBA defense like every other year. He is showing signs of regression, I will be honest, but I still think Holiday gets a decent return for the Boston Celtics. As far as who I think safe on the team for the Boston Celtics, I would say Jason Tatum, obviously coming off an Achilles injury, but even then, best player on the team, I don't think he would ever get dealt, but we've seen crazier with Luka Doncic being traded. I think Derek White is safe. I think Jaylen Brown is safe as far as, just trading him for, whatever. And unless it's like a big deal for maybe the Boston Celtics go for a Cooper Flag with the #1 overall pick, I think Brown would probably be in that deal, or a deal for Giannis. Those are like the only two realistic options where I see Jaylen Brown getting traded. A lot of people don't think he's a $300 million player. I might be a little bit biased, man, but I love Jaylen Brown. And I think, is it a crazy contract? Maybe, but I don't want to say it because Jaylen Brown's my guy. And the other guy I think who is pretty much safe to get traded just because he's on an amazing deal, 6th man of the year, Peyton Pritchard. On one of I think he makes like $9 or $10 million a year. Like that's a crazy steal as far as his production goes. And who knows if Holiday is traded, maybe he can be in that starting lineup next year. So we'll see how Pritchard does as a starter next year. But as far as at least for next season, I think he is safe to be on the team. And Al Horford, man, obviously he's welcome to come back to the Boston Celtics if he chooses. But I think he's going to retire. I do think he's going to retire because won a championship last year, and then this year, sort of a disappointment. But next year, it's not looking too great. Like, I don't think the Boston Celtics, obviously, without Jason Tatum, they're not, I almost said Super Bowl contender, sorry, NBA Finals contender. As far as, the Celtics go, I don't really know because, like, it's hard to say the Celtics are a lock to be a playoff team because I do think the East will only get better. And like I said, I don't know the return that the Celtics are going to get for a Drew Holiday or Kristaps Porzingis. Probably losing Sam Hauser as well, like role players like that, maybe even Luke Cornett. It's really, not looking the brightest as of right now just because, like I said, there's a lot of uncertainty. But man, we just got to pray that the Celtics can get a decent return for Holiday and Porzingis. I think that's going to be the main thing. And yeah, as of right now, I don't expect the Celtics to, obviously they're not a title contender next year. But I want to say for the Eastern Conference, like I think the Toronto Raptors will be better. Obviously adding Brandon Ingram at the trade deadline, I think a lot of people are forgetting about that. They also have the 9th pick in this draft, and I think they have a solid core, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley. Like this team is actually pretty good. Maybe they select like a Cayman Malawach to be their starting center over a Jakob Poeltl. And man, I really like what the Raptors are building. I think Philly, obviously having the 3rd pick in the draft, maybe adding like a VJ Edgecombe or Ace Bailey to the already stacked core they have. Joel Embiid, MVP, Tyrese Maxey, Paul George. Obviously he showed signs of regression, but Jared McCain, who I believe would have been the rookie of the year had he not gotten injured. Quentin Grimes balled out. Like the Philadelphia 76ers are another team who I think will be a playoff team next year. Who knows? Pat Riley said Miami's got some big things coming. So that's just 3 teams just off the top of my head that I can think of. Without Tatum, like these teams have legitimate shots to be better than the Celtics. Even Orlando Magic. Like Orlando Magic, I expect them to make a big deal, honestly. Paulo and Franz honestly outplayed Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown as a duo. In that first round series, man. They showed a lot. And honestly, the Orlando Magic would have been a top 5 seed had they not had all the injuries. They had a lot of injuries. I think Paulo and Franz only played like 20 games together this season. So those are just teams off the top of my head that I can think of. And Atlanta is like a sort of a sneaky team. I think they are a sleeper team to honestly trade for Giannis. I know that sounds kind of crazy. And Jalen Johnson as well. I think he'd probably be in a deal for Giannis, honestly. But man, if you pair Trae Young up with Giannis, you got a second to DPOY and Dyson Daniels. Like I think that's a sleeper team to get a Giannis. But honestly, man, I just want to say I'm really grateful for the Celtics team, this championship roster. Like the Celtics, the last 7 years, I've watched them, just knocking on the door. Since Tatum's rookie year and even a little bit before that with the Isaiah Thomas days, like always super, super close. And to see them get it done last year, in the NBA Finals 2024, NBA Finals, got my hat right here. Honestly, one of the happiest days of my life, man. I'll be honest, like just seeing them getting super, super close, them finally doing it. See the Jays, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum finally. After all the doubters saying, they can't be a duo, split them up, all this and that, to see them finally get it done, man, it was really great to see. And I'm forever grateful for the 2024-2025 Boston Celtics. It sucks. It really, really does suck to see them go. Oh, sorry, I mean the 2023 to 2024 Boston Celtics, and honestly this year as well, 2024 and 2025 as well. Solid team. I think had an amazing regular season, even first round, and man, I'm really just happy to see the Boston Celtics do it all, win the NBA Finals last year. Like honestly, that was enough for me. Got super, like I said, just knocking on the door. Finally seeing them get it done. Super happy about that. But I do want to talk about the New York Knicks a little bit. I give all the credit in the world to the New York Knicks. I think they punched the Celtics in the mouth game 1 and game 2. Coming back from 2 20-point leads is crazy. Like they really just outdogged the Celtics in those first two games. The Knicks completely earned this. I think they have what it takes to go all the way. We know 3 out of the 4 teams in the conference finals right now. We know Knicks and Pacers is locked to be the ECF matchup, and we're just waiting on Denver and Oklahoma City to play Sunday in that game 7. I got Denver if Aaron Gordon plays. If Aaron Gordon doesn't play, I got OKC. But I don't think he's going to play. That hamstring injury, I don't think you really want to play with that. But man, it's a game 7, He might play, but he's not going to, have the impact that he normally does, I don't think, at least. That's a tough injury, a hamstring injury. But man, who else do we got? Oh, the Minnesota Timberwolves, I think, have a solid shot as well. But man, I think the Knicks and Pacers ECF, I think it's going to be a great series. I want the Pacers to win personally. I'm a Tyrese Halliburton guy, one of my favorite non-Celtic players in the league. But I wouldn't mind, seeing the Knicks, Madison Square Garden in the NBA Finals. Like, I wouldn't mind it at all. I like some of the players they got. OG Anunoby, Cat. I like Brunson's okay. I like Mikal Bridges. But man, shout out to the Knicks. If you're a Knicks fan, you guys completely earned it, and don't let anyone take that away from you. Completely earned it, man. And like I said, don't let anyone take it away from you. I took a lot of shit last year when the Celtics won. They only beat injured teams, but they beat the Dallas Mavericks, completely dominated them in the NBA Finals, who were whooping on 50-win teams like it was nothing in the Western Conference. So they whooped on the best team in the Western Conference. So that's all I'm going to say. There's always going to be haters, especially when you're a team about to win a championship, or even when you do win a championship. So if you are a Knicks fan, just don't let anyone ever tell you, like, enjoy the moment. Like, there's always going to be haters, and you just really have to enjoy, the moment, because it doesn't happen a lot. The championship window is really, really small in the NBA. Like, you see it with the Celtics. Next year, not going to be a title contender. Could they be a title contender? When Jason Tatum comes back, you don't even know how he's going to come back. Like, there's just a lot of uncertainty right now. And honestly, there really hasn't been for a while. As a Celtics fan, I'm grateful for that. Just the last, 8 to 10 years, just completely dominating. And just constant success. And I'm grateful for it, for sure. But that's going to do it for the rest of this video. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, comment down below. What do you want to see next season? Like, I think it's going to be a developmental year for sure. Sorry, I can't talk. Developmental year for the Boston Celtics, and I would like to see, some development in the younger guys, maybe a Baylor Shireman, whoever we draft this year, if it's not traded. I would just like to see, J.D. Davidson, just all the young guys. Like, I just give them some shine, give them some run, give them some shine. And yeah, that's what I want to see, at least. But yeah, that's going to do it for the rest of this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.